Intermediate AutoCAD drawing setup part 4. So we have inserted our title block and set up our sheet. The title block is set up for an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So when we print, we'll be printing 8.5 by 11. And the next thing we want to do is we want to set up our viewport. And essentially, in AutoCAD, anytime you hover over something, you can see it highlights. That means you can click on it and make it active. So here's where my viewport is set up right now. I've just clicked over it, and you can see it's giving me a little bit of information about this. It's telling me it's a viewport. So if I click on it and I want some more information about that particular item, I can right-click down to the very bottom and properties, and it's basically saying here, this is a viewport, and its layer is black. I can change the layer color if I want, and maybe instead of it being on a 0, maybe I actually want it to be on a viewport layer, and we'll talk about layers when I get back into model space. But we definitely want to keep track of our layers. So there's our viewport. Now, and you can just move this over here a little bit. So I can just click that close to close that. So when I'm over it, I can click on it and you can see the toggles that come to life. And so I want to stretch my viewport because I want to use this paper area. So I just clicked on it and stretched it over. I'm going to click on this bottom one and stretch it over. Now I don't want the viewport to go down here because I don't want what I'm drawing to overlap into my title block. So then I can hit escape to select that viewport, and you want to save often, so I'm just going to hit a quick save here so that I save. Okay, so then we're going to hit a quick save, and again we don't want that viewport to overlap our drawing title block. So now I'm going to create a new box so I can see where I'm drawing. So I'm going to toggle out of paper space and go here into model space. And I'm going to draw a rectangle. And I'm actually going to use, you can see my command line here. If I type in REC, you can see it comes up here. I can click there, or I can just hit enter. And then I can create a rectangle here by selecting the 2 corners. And it does give me prompts. So you can see it asks me, for the first corner and then the second corner. There we go. And then I can hit escape to get out of it. So here's my rectangle right there. And so now I'm going to hop back into paper space, and I do have that rectangle. And you can see when I'm in paper space, it won't let me select that rectangle. Essentially, I've just defined a drawing area that's going to fit in this 8.5 by 11 paper. And the other thing that I already have set up in here is when we come into paper space, when it brings it in from model space, it's going to be drawing here at 1/4 of an inch per foot. And so essentially, every time we draw a line segment, for every 1/4 inch, similar to a map, for every 1/4 inch that we draw, it's going to equal a foot. So if you had a map and you said, this line is equal to 1 mile, and that way we can draw everything to scale and fit it in. So we've drawn this rectangle. So let's hop into model space. And you can see our rectangle here. And if we click on that rectangle, again, we can hit properties, and we can see that layer has been drawn on this default layer. And it's got a bunch of information about that layer. It's white. It's not going to print. I don't want it to. So I can click on it. And if I'm in home is where my layers are. So I can hover over this layers and see it's on the non-print layer. And I can open up layer properties here. And this shows me all my layers and the properties. So this layer I just printed is white. It's not going to print. You can see this printer is marked out and it has a note that says it will not print. And this is just a layer for me to define things that I don't want printed, so I can write myself notes and other things like that. I can also click on that layer, right click, go to properties, and it shows me that it's on this no print layer. Now, if I wanted it to be on a print layer, I could simply click here and now close this. And now I've changed it. And I'm just going to hit U for undo because I really do want it to be on the no print layer. So I'm going to pause there and then come back and talk about shortcut keys and more about layers in the next video.